This is it. This is the chance. This team, MSK Zilina, can actually win the league this season. And I'm not joking. A bit of another topic than usual. You usually see me yapping about Polish football, but this time we're going to Slovakia. I follow their league to an extent, and I cannot ignore the fact one of my favorite clubs is actually cooking. MSK Zilina has a perfect opportunity to give it everything and take that first league title since 2017, as they're leading after 9 match days. This video is all about it. If you follow the Slovak league, you most likely aren't unless you're Slovak, and you look at the recent seasons, you probably know that the dominant team is Slovan Bratislava. Sometimes they dominate, sometimes it's pretty close, but I genuinely believe if there's a chance for another team to take the crown, it's right now. It's this season. And that team is MSK Zilina, who haven't won the league title since 2017. Where they have been between 2017 and now, and why is it actually this season? Let's talk about it. MSK Zilina is considered as one of the top teams in the country. Since the split up of Czechoslovakia, the Sosons played every season but one in the top flight, often landing on the podium and winning the league on 7 occasions. But in the recent years, it hasn't been easy for them. Sure, they did not fall below top 6 and qualify to Europe a fair amount of times. The closest they have been to a group stage though was a Conference League playoff in 2021 against the Czech side Jablonec. This small step back is caused by the club focusing on developing their own players via the academy, especially after a certain disease coming along and forcing the club to let their highest paid players go. The focus on the academy was so extreme that even today, the club only has 5 players aged 24 or older in the team. And you guessed it, all of them come from Zilina Academy and were born in that city. This impacted the results on the pitch, from fighting for the titles to getting Europe at best. But I guess the transfer fees compensate that, as we hear of a massive transfer from the north of Slovakia nearly every window. And the last summer, that was Timotej Jambor going to Rapid Bucharest in Romania for $1 million. With that info covered, we need to ask ourselves, why is it this year? Why not last year when the club was just behind Slovan at the winter break, just to fumble it up massively? Why not the 2022-23 season when Zilina dismantled Slovan 4-1 at home, just to barely qualify for Europe via playoffs at the end? The argument here is Slovan Bratislava itself. Slovan is a dominant team in Slovakia in the recent years, winning all of the last 6 league titles. Some of them were pretty dominant, and some were close calls. In that time, Slovan represented Slovakia in European competitions, nearly qualifying for Conference League quarterfinals on 1 occasion. But this year, they went all in, and after defeating Struga from Macedonia, Celje from Slovenia, Apole and Midtjylland, they found their way to the Champions League for the first time ever, and they became the first Slovak club to do it since MSK Zilina. The problem is, Slovan already got demolished in the first 2 league phase encounters, 4-0 by Manchester City and 5-1 by Celtic. The team from Bratislava was, understandably, nowhere to be seen against Manchester, and against Celtic, despite a lucky goal, they weren't seen too much as well. And it doesn't help that 3 days after qualifying for the Champions League, Zilina came into Bratislava and demolished Slovan too, with a 5-0 result at home. With that covered, what about the other teams? Don't they have a shot at the title as well? We're mainly talking about Spartak Trnava and Dunajska Streda, the other 2 teams that could rival the team from the capital. Let's just say Spartak lost to a team from the Polish 2nd division in Conference League qualifiers. But the fact they are yet to lose a league game and started picking up wins recently, like the spectacular one against Podbrezova, makes it clear they are catching up. What about Dunajska Streda? They already lost to MSK Zilina 3-0, Slovan Bratislava 2-1 and Bańska Bystrica. Adding 2 more draws into account, that's 4th place, 14 points and quite a fair gap. And the final reason is Zilina's transfers. I love talking about these in every video, but just hear me out. We have 2 returns from loan, wingers Dawid Ryś and Adrian Kapralik, who both started the season very well. There's also a return of Miroslav Kacer, who spent his 4-year Zilina hiatus in Pilsen and Dunajska Streda. But I must say, there was one transfer that I looked at, and my first thought was this tweet. Petr Pekarik, who still plays regularly for the Slovak national team, has returned to the club where he started his career. Sure, the right back had his last club in the first team start back in April 2023, but once again, he is still a main right back for the country. If this isn't the one transfer Zilina needed for the title charge, I don't know. I seriously don't know what else the team needs. This is Zilina's first big chance to win the league, and I wanted to cover this topic in this video. If you enjoyed it, you can hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. I'll be very grateful for that. I am talking about MSK Zilina in this video, and turns out I also visited them in real life and made a video out of it, which is on your screen right now. And what is the final reason? The Slovak Football Association banned artificial pitches from the season. Zilina has used an artificial pitch on their home stadium since 2016, and they reverted back to natural grass this year. And they're cooking!